morning! It's coffee time. Coffee and crunches, in fact. New swag, Calvin Fitness. Very nice. Product placement is key to these lives. Wouldn't you say? All right, we're talking. This is one of the most common questions I get. And I don't love the word, to be honest with you. Toned, what does that mean? I mean, everyone's picture of what tone looks like to them is different, but it is the common language used for, getting those batwing arms tightened up and the belly gone. So we'll use that because that's the language of you, all right? Even though I don't love it. So we're going to go through the Toned Trifecta today. 3-part process that I find super effective for ultimately getting you that result you want, that picture of that ideal body shape, health that you have in your head. And most people approach it the wrong way, unfortunately, and I'm going to try to clear that up today, because it's rarely a matter of saying, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, and when I get there, I'm going to be toned and tight. And not exactly. There's a step-by-step process to get toned, and it's not just counting calories and losing weight. All right, so I'll bring this up. I'll bring this forward. First, the question I'll ask is, what is your training like? Like, what kind of workouts do you do? And then I'll ask, do you do an 8-rep max effort set consistently? If they don't know what that is, certainly that's where we'll start. Because a lot of people train in a way that certainly gets their heart rate up. They sweat hard, they feel accomplished. But is it the most effective method to get toned? And rarely is pairing up 6 exercises in a circuit with your body weight, with some light weights, and just, chicken with your head cut off, going through that routine, and you're not actually stimulating the muscle in a way that leads to it restructuring itself and changing. Progressive overload, getting stronger over time, is what is going to force that muscular system to adapt, grow, and lean out, and that doesn't happen from just doing body weight circuits, 5-pound weights, okay? So that said, it doesn't have to have, the visual of a bodybuilder lifting 400 pounds. No, relative to you, increasing your strength over time in that 8 to 12 rep range per set. Meaning you get to 8 reps, you got to dig deep into your soul to eke out a couple more. That is where you want to be. That is, and I'm not making this up on the spot. This is based off, weightlifting is not a new thing. Millions of gym rats have been through trial and error to come to these conclusions. And, new science will try to compete with that. But let's be honest. The people who are in the best shape are those who train like a bodybuilder in the gym, doing a lot of sets, but with a heavy enough weight to stimulate, not annihilate. Make sense? Hopefully that does. So that means you need to maybe change your approach to exercise first and foremost. Jeff, welcome. Bernadine, Sarah, client Sarah is on. Very nice. So this takes time to get stronger, to be comfortable with heavy weights relative to you. But I promise you, it is necessary to get that shape, those rounded glutes and tight arms, and whatever that looks like to you. It's gonna start and end with workouts that push you. Okay. Number 1, all right. Number 2 is the composition of your diet. I say P and C because protein and carbs are really the foundation of your muscle, and you do have to fuel your body appropriately to build muscle. And muscle gets a bad rap. Like, women think they're going to put on 5 pounds of muscle a month into a workout routine. That's not how it works. You make the effort to build muscle, and you'll actually get toned in the end, which is ultimately what you want. You won't get bulky. You won't grow an Adam's apple. For men, same thing here. If you're doing circuits and you want to build some inches onto your guns, you've got to do what I said in part 1, and that's 8 to 12 reps per set, heavy enough with good form. Rod, welcome. So don't be scared of carbs if your goal is to tone up, because muscle is fueled by carbs. A low-carb diet is not going to be conducive to optimal muscle and toning. Okay, that's number 2. 3 is the biggest one. And if you're watching this live, type live, please, in the comments, just to get a sense for whether or not my audio is working. If you're on the replay, type replay. I do have a little bonus for anyone that actually watches this that I'll send off after. So part 3, weight gain. And this is going to be a tough one for women to get, wrap their heads around. Eventually you get to a point where you're lean enough, maybe not as lean as you want to be, but you're going to have to shift gears, build up that metabolism, add some muscle, and the scale will go up a little bit. Yes, this will be a tough thing to wrap your head around. Men have to do the same thing. Gain weight gradually over time. Maybe a pound or 2 a month, but you're going to have to stick that process out 3 to 6 months, possibly a year in some cases. Because if you're constantly in diet mode, it's impossible to build muscle and tone up when you're trying to just lose. Certainly, if you're just getting started, focus on weight loss. But eventually you get to a point where you have to shift gears. And this is actually the fun part. You add in more calories gradually. You build up your metabolism and muscle so that the next time you try to strip it off, you have somewhere to go. It makes the next diet a lot easier. So I don't care what age you are, what gender you are. Eventually, you have to go through maintenance and weight gain phases. All right? Makes sense? If you have any questions about all three of these, or one in particular, let me know. But I find people are either in a position where they're constantly, chronically dieting, tracking calories, never quite getting to where they want to get because they've never really considered how to tone up underneath the fat and build that muscle so that when they do lean out enough, it's going to show up. They're going to have the body they want. And that takes time. It's a process. But I promise you, it makes the whole thing easier. It certainly makes maintaining your results a lot easier when you've got an engine that can rev and you're not depleted and deprived. Justin, welcome. Robert. All right, so that's it on this one. Obviously, type your comments or questions below any part of this trifecta. We do have a new case study in March. I know snow is melting. Summer clothes are going to be coming out of the closet soon enough. Summer bodies are built now, not waiting for June. So we do have a month. I think it's a 30-day. Yeah, it's a 30-day option to start with for a handful of people. We had Tiffany and Pam who joined this morning. So a few more spots. We guarantee a pant size in those first 30 days. So if you want in on that, type I'm ready below, and I'll reach out to you in the next day or two with a few questions to confirm if it's a fit or not. It might not be. This is for that initial weight loss phase when you say you've got at least 20 pounds to lose. You want to strip that off first. What we talked about in part 3, the weight gain phase, would not be set up well for this program. But hopefully by the end of it, you'll be ready to transition to that. We can help you make that transition. And that's a win-win. Lenny, Justin. So yeah, a lot of this was sort of speaking more to women because they tend to have a tough time considering weight gain and muscle. They get freaked out to gain any muscle. But the same process works for both. You can't be in diet mode forever as a man or a woman. All right? You got to build some muscle once in a while. Makes it way easier, and muscle is going to be anti-aging protective effect as you get older, and as long as you use it, you won't lose it. There's studies showing you can maintain muscle well into your 80s, which is going to prevent that hunched over, frail, hip about to break feeling that people go through as they get older, which is not what you want. Ashley, welcome. All right, so I've had enough rambling now. I don't know how long I've been on, but again, any questions about the 3-part process, about our drop a size case study in March, reach out to me. We're all connected. If you're watching this, you're a friend of mine on here, so feel free to drop into my DMs or inbox. Have a good Wednesday. We'll be back at the same time, same bat channel next. I'm hoping to do one tomorrow with coffee with Kelvin Fit.